Good morning, all traders. Today is a big day simply because we've had the monthly candle closures. Now, especially in January, the markets can get a little slow. Everyone's getting back to normal, and obviously, traders bring volume into the market. And January can be quite slow at the beginning, even though we've had a great month so far. This week actually was one of the weeks where I've never taken as least amount of trades before. I think we took 2 or 3 trades. Generally, with my strategy, we always find a setup one per day at least because we box price up and we scalp a range pre market volume. But yeah, this week was slow. We didn't chase anything, and we caught basically 3 nice winners. And that was pretty much it. But let's just divulge into. Let's start with gold. And I'm just going to run down pairs. So obviously it's February 1st, February 2nd, and we've had the monthly closures. Now this is important because it tells us a lot of information about where price could then continue. And gold's a great example because we've just made an all-time high. So I'm just going to remove all analysis for now and start from scratch. So obviously the simplicity of it, we've made an all-time high. We have a support here, which we rejected, and now most likely we are going to pull back and retest this to go long. So you've got to say that's the monthly level. So that's what we'll be looking for to go long, right? Now, what gold can sometimes do, it can make a high above this wick, then reject, and then come back for that retracement, which catches a lot of people out. Crypto also moves like this as well. So a lot of pairs, when people get FOMO, they start buying when a high is broken. But this is the time you'd actually try and short. And I'm going to touch getting sniper entries in a completely other video for you guys as well. So let's drop down to the weekly. Again, we've had a bullish weekly closure above this level, exactly like the monthly. We've actually come back to retest this level on the weekly, which I sent to my team, and then we've actually broken this high. So this weekly is also going to close bullish. So everything is screaming buys right now. Daily, we broke this high. As you can see with this body, we broke the high of that body, but now we've rejected. So this daily is now going to close with a sort of bullish hammer candle, which is a sign of exhaustion. And we could easily come back to retest this level. And you'll notice I drew this level on the monthly, and it also lines up exactly on the daily. So this is actually a very strong level, which is where I would look for possible buys. So let's drop down to the 4 hour, see if we can make these zones a bit more accurate. So exhaustion on the 4 hour as well after that all-time high. So most likely, I reckon we are going to see a deep retracement and gold starting February off. But we don't just sell it and hope for the best. If we want to tackle short, you've got to be logical about where you'd short. So we can clearly see we have a strong 4 hour zone here. And if we go down to the 1 hour, which is what we do when trying to find an entry, it lines up beautifully on the 1 hour as well. What I'd probably do just to be safe, I'd just bring it down to this body here because we have a wick rejection here and a wick touch. So this is the safer option for me. Because if you had the zone here and you take a break on here, it could just be coming to retest this level of little supply area here and reject, especially because we are bullish and going against the trend. You've got to be more reserved with your zones, and this is where I'd go. Let's drop down to the 30-minute time frame, and that's when you have it. So it lines up beautifully on that 30-minute body there, which is perfect for me. So I wouldn't look at to do anything with gold unless we break and close below this level, which will be a minimum 30-minute close. And then I will look for taking shorts back down to this level, which I think are highly probable. When you see these fake moves to the upside and then a break below, that forms everyone's favorite part on the head and shoulders. And you can see it materializing here. Left head, right shoulder, and a break of this zone would be the neckline, which we can then use this moving average as a nice confluence to use as a retest coming down. So just to reiterate, I'll be looking at short, a breaking below this level, and I'll be looking for buys from anywhere around this level here. And again, we don't just buy, as soon as price comes to this level. You've got to wait for that price action. Let's take this for an example here. So again, price is come violently down to this level, beautiful moving average retest along with this level here. You can buy it when it enters this level, but you'd have to drop down the time frames to find an entry. and I see an entry. The only entry I see is on this 1 hour here, which is in closing engulfing above these previous three and the moving average, which also lines up with a similar candle on the 4 hour, which is this engulfing here. So my entry would have been on that candle there. Stop loss would have to have been below this wick here, which was around 170 pips, and obviously TP would have been at those left highs. So you would have got a nice, not a great risk to reward for me. I prefer to have at least a 1 to 3 looking at swings with that's a large stop loss. You can be more aggressive, and if you're taking it on that engulfing, which we teach in our scalping, you could have had an aggressive entry here with the stop loss sort of below the body, but gold can easily whip down here. But you can see how it's hugging that moving average, which is a really nice added confluence, which we teach our team. And you can even see a sort of head and shoulders here, left, head, right shoulder, and an entry also could have been in that beautiful hourly candle there. So that would have been more of an entry for me. Stop loss would have been below this low here, and we could have caught a much nicer R2R because things are looking really nice this candle. We've had the confirmation down here on the higher time frames. We've had the bullish break, and then we've had a beautiful candle here, which we could have taken. And we were actually waiting for a break of this sort of zone before we took this on Friday, and it just blew out of the zone, never came back for a retest this level, which is where I was going to get into this trade. So we ended up missing that trade simply because I stuck to my rules and the entry never came available, which is also fine. There's nothing wrong with sticking to rules and missing a trade, even though we could have caught an absolutely phenomenal risk reward if we took that. But I was more reserved and I was waiting for a lower time frame break and retest above this level here because it could have easily just as easily rejected this level and gone back down. So when looking for larger time frame swings, I still like to drop down to the 30-minute and make sure we have that break of structure and retest just like the other time frames as well. So yeah, interested in gold now. Again, looking for shorts and also longs. We've just got to wait for that confirmation, especially if you're taking shorts in a bullish market. You've got to wait for additional confirmation, which is perfectly normal. Let's have a look at USD JPY, another one of my favorite pairs, because we've been quite a messy range recently. I am still bullish on this pair. We've kind of been bearish on the lower time frames, making lower lows, lower highs. But that looks to me we're just staggering down to retest these stronger levels, which we've now rejected. So I am anticipating USD to be stronger fundamentally and technically. So we can start looking for buys. I was looking for possible buys from this level on Friday, but it just came too late. And I don't like to enter swing trades on a Friday and hold over the weekend. But I love seeing this shift of trend. So you can see we're making lower lows and lower highs. Then we made the double bottom and it didn't make a lower low. Then we break above this structure here. And again, that's when you get your head and shoulders, your left head, right shoulder in a reversal pattern, using that moving averages confluence, beautiful break, beautiful retest, and then a drive up. So I am shifting to buys now on USD JPY. Obviously, this would be my preferred entry here, but we should hope for a possible retrace again to sort of these levels. If you want to draw your trend lines, if it makes you happier, you can obviously draw your trend line and look for sort of retests around these areas. So let's see what happens with UJ, but things are lining up for buys. So look at the Euro USD, bearish still by the looks of it. Then when you look at that, we've even got a head and shoulders. So left head, right shoulder. It's harder to identify neckline on this because people will go here, here, but the safest option for me, this is the neckline here. You can clearly line that up with other supply here, which you can see price rejects, also around psychological level. So a break of here, then a retest, and then shorts are looking really nice for Euro USD. So we'll have to be patient with that setup. Probably materialize Tuesday, something like that. Not much there. Pretty messy. Or JPY, pretty messy at all. So look at GA. Waiting for buys from this level. Again, never really gave confirmation. Just broke above and never came back to a retest. So we missed that trade also. Again, just sticking to my rules. Nothing wrong with that at all either. GJ, removal analysis. We did catch a nice short from this level last week on GJ, which I've just removed and I would have shown you. But again, pretty messy price action. just ranging here. Not really a pretty pair to take a trade on, so I just avoid it until we get a clear indication of a trend continuation. Pound card, some rejections into this area here by the looks of it. Pretty messy price action, and this whole range, like just from here to here, I wouldn't touch that. Again, we need a break, a retest using these moving averages. I mean, look at beautiful confluence. It's all three crossing over. So if we get a solid close and then a retest of all these moving averages, that would be a beautiful short on pound card. So let's be patient and see what materializes there. GU, pretty again messy range, but we're bearish. I'd expect a break and a retest and then a continuation short on that. AUD, one of my other favorite pairs for entering day and swing trades. So I've drawn this to my team, a rejection from this level and a move to the downside, which we literally had beautifully, but it came just way too late. Obviously, let's see if we could have got an entry. So it's all great looking at it, but let's see if we could have found an entry. So I told the team, wait for a pullback to this area for retest. We had a violent drive up to this level. And then a violent drive out. So I probably wouldn't have caught this because that wasn't enough confirmation for me on the 15-minute. I mean, I still probably wouldn't have taken that, especially because it was so late on a Friday anyway. But you can see how it's materialized beautifully there. But we'll have to wait and see what happens next week. Or JPY, let's have a quick glance. Bearish, but kind of on a bullish drive. Maybe a shift to the upside, move to this level, but still nothing clear. No. So a quick look at NZD USD. So I told the team again, similar to AU, I want to short from this level. Exactly the same as AU. Would have had a strong, powerful drive, so probably wouldn't have caught that anyway. So yeah, just no entry again. Weird week, just no entries came. CHF JPY, pretty bearish, but no confirmations of anything else. No, messy. Pretty messy. And I'd say that's it. So I generally trade gold 90% of the time. So that's why most of my energy is focused on that because I love it. And the ranges are huge, which means you can make money very quickly. So I'm going to wrap that up there. Some good opportunities on gold, I'd say. Shorts below here, buys above 2,740. So yeah, look forward to seeing you in the charts. Again, if you're interested in taking your trading game a bit further, come join us at the Trading Guys, and hopefully I'll see you on the charts soon.